And this movement of militant homosexuality, people that might be part of this movement might not be homosexuals themselves even. What is the agenda behind this movement? The agenda behind this movement, the objective behind this movement, is to cause society to embrace their lifestyle, to accept their lifestyle, to force society to accept homosexual practices. A practice that is based upon liwat, upon sodomy, akramakumullah. And how is it the case that they want society to accept this? How is it the case that they want society to embrace this? What is their action plan? Do they have an action plan? Yes, they do. In 1971, they made a manifesto called the Gay Liberation Manifesto. And in this manifesto, there are several things that they have mentioned, several asbab, means and causes and avenues that they want to adopt in order to reach their goal of society embracing homosexuality. We'll mention 4. Number 1, abolishing the family unit. Abolishing the family unit. Why? Because when it is the case that you have a man who they say is like the master, the oppressor, and then the woman who they say is like the slave, and they are indoctrinating with the children to be heterosexual, then this, they say in clear-cut terms, this is one of the main things that is an oppression against our objective. The family unit, they say, goes against our objective. They clearly say this. So number 1, abolishing the family unit. Number 2, and we have to say this in explicit terms because there's no other way around it. Number 2, premature sexualization of the child. To make the child sexualized at a premature age. Number 3, promoting gender fluidity. That there is no real thing as a man or a male, and there is no real thing as a female. So if it's the case that my child grows up, he wakes up tomorrow, and he says, "Father, today I'm actually a girl. So from now on, call me Jessica, call me Amanda, call me so on and so forth." You have to accept that now. You have to accept that. And number 4 is lowering, and if possible, abolishing the age of consent. This is something that they have mentioned in their own manifesto in clear-cut, explicit terms. Nothing has been twisted. And they have an objective to have a commune. That once it is the case that the family unit has been abolished, where is the child going to go? There's no more father anymore, there's no more mother anymore. Where are those children going to go? Into these communes. And then in these communes, they can achieve their objectives of premature sexualization of the child, although they're doing it already. The objective of promoting gender fluidity, although they're doing it already. The objective of lowering the age of consent, and then once that objective of lowering or abolishing the age of consent has been achieved, then we all know what's going to happen after that. So now, once you come to know this, once you hear this, it's all well and good saying how horrible this is. This is absolutely disgusting. I can't believe this is happening. It's all well and good that you say this, but then you send off your children and you throw your children to the lions to be fed by the lions. I.e., it's all well and good acknowledging this, but then you send your children to state school, because the scholars have mentioned, time and time again they mention, it's not allowed Islamically for you to put your children in the schools of those people who aren't adherent to the religion of Islam. You live with them respectfully. You deal with them respectfully. You are kind and good to the non-Muslims. But you don't send your children to be educated at their hands, because they don't know any better. Thus they're going to indoctrinate your child with this. So a person, he says, but brother, what am I meant to do? If I don't send my child to school, then the law is going to be knocking on my door and then I'm going to be in prison. No. It's not a legal obligation upon you to send your child to school. What is your legal obligation? Your legal obligation is to have your child educated. That is your legal obligation in the country. That's not me saying it, it's the law itself. In the Acts of Parliament, section number 7 of the Education Act 1996, it reads, the parent of every child of compulsory school age shall cause him to receive efficient full-time education, suitable A, to his age, ability and aptitude, and B, to any special educational needs that he may have. And this is the point here. Either by regular attendance at school or otherwise. Therefore, you are not obligated as far as the law of this land is concerned to send your child to school. You can use other options. A tuition club, getting a home tutor, homeschooling yourself, you teaching your child yourself. And it is not the case that you have to use the national curriculum. The legal obligation upon you is that your child is educated such that he is ready for his community. He does not even have to be ready for the whole of the UK. As long as he's ready for the community, this is within the law itself. As long as he's able to interact with the community, once he reaches the age of 16, that is your legal obligation. And therefore you don't have to educate your child using the national curriculum. You can if you want to. You can purchase the revision guides and the educational guides by the different educational bodies that have their objectives out in line with the national curriculum, or you could use other syllabuses. You could get a syllabus from Singapore if you want. Get a syllabus from America if you want. You can tailor your own education program as and how you want it. But the point is, we mentioned the ayah at the beginning. قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. Save yourselves and your family from a fire. It's not a joke. Fire is real. People are going to burn in there. And if it is the case that you're not careful about your child, then if Allah Jalla wa Az, we ask Allah to protect our children from the fire. But if Allah, He decrees based upon His justice for your child to burn in the fire of hell while you neglected him, then you're going to have nobody to blame other than yourself.